Welcome back, everyone. Golden Guardians will be facing Cloud9 in just a few minutes. But before they do, I'm sure you've heard the news. Sven is out, so it's time to learn a thing or two about your boy King, the new starting AD carry. The brother is and was a monster, a 5-time Oceanic champion, the OG double-if-like, put the team on your back type. And for someone playing for 6 years, he's damn young too. Despite being held back from starting in 2014 and being too young, he quickly became the ace of that Direwolves team. He faced off against names we know like Raze, Lost, FBI, all fell to the King from Down Under. But more than that, it's been about that journey, maturing as a player from being that resource-heavy type to a selfless Seraphine allowing his top lane carry to thrive. And now he's rejoining his former teammate, Fudge. He won his last two championships with the man, and I think he's ready to make a three-peat happen.
You are bringing me back to the days of spring, Raz. I mean, reflecting upon what King has done and the work he's put in for all of his teammates in the past. Now we get to see him on the Cloud9 squad. And as excited as we all are, though, for his debut at this point in time, I think it is very fair to say, as Raz just touched on, that there are very big shoes to fill when it comes to Sven.
Yeah, and they're big shoes because he's one of the best AD carries in the league, and he's also like 7 feet tall. Right? So it's worth noting that it might not be the case that Sven sits out the whole split. I believe in the video that Jack put out, he said he has a path open to regain his spot. But yeah, King, I expect him to be really good, but the synergy that Sven and Vulcan had in lane, their ability to be super dominant game after game, that's something that takes time to build. So I'm very curious to see what kind of player King is, if Vulcan sort of changes his style and looks more to support side lanes instead of, mid and top instead of look to dominate lane because he has to build more synergy with King.
And I think that's why I'm interested to see what he does, because Sven was good about being weak side. He could play different styles and slot in different places. He was the all-pro bot laner, you know? Yeah. So like you're saying about these shoes to fill, it will be kind of difficult for King. I think he has all the tools to actually step up and do that, but there probably is a lot of pressure on him because I'm sure C9 fans are, looking at this move being like, what happened to Sven? What exactly happened in the situation? Because there wasn't a ton of clarity around the move.
Yeah, that's why I think it's just a rough situation for King, just because a lot of people were expecting him to come in and debut with how strong he's been performing, how much of a consistent player he is. But then coming in for, the best player in North America in the previous split, like that is always he's going to be made a comparison rather than being put in his own limelight. And I think that's pretty unfortunate, but I think he's going to have a strong performance. I have a lot of faith in what we've been seeing in his performance in Academy.
While it is a difficult position for him to be put in, it's not like he is completely unfamiliar with his teammates here. You mentioned, Raz, that there has been a history between King and Fudge, and we're going to get to see that in action today.
Yeah, and C9 are no strangers to risky moves with their rosters. They've been one of the best orgs about kind of churning their roster out and finding new talent to replace them. Fudge being a great example, coming in for Licorice, who had then replaced Impact. And so there's this kind of history with the team. And Fudge, for example, has been incredible so far in the LCS. I mean, it was a rough start in lock-in tournament, but the growth that this player has seen in just a very limited amount of time is incredible. In fact, you go into an international tournament and start showing up other teams. That is so insane to see out of a really young player in Fudge as well. He is not old. There's a lot of these young Osh players.
Yeah, and I think that gives him an extra angle to just win a game. Because at the very beginning of Spring Split, a lot of it was like, okay, well, if top lane performs poorly or Perkz has like a bad game, that it can be Sven and Vulcan in the bot lane, who are the rock-solid bot laners that will get you a huge advantage. Vulcan will roam across the map. They'll still have that angle. Vulcan is still going to be as impactful as he was in the previous split. But yeah, you have top lane that can now play consistently through carries, and I think they're a lot more comfortable playing through Fudge. So a new angle to Cloud9 being a top-side focus, I think is great.
When we talk about the tools that King has at his disposal to really make an impact on this team, you also have to think about those tools on the rest of the team and the way he's able to play into that. If we're looking at Cloud9 and the fact that they have been working so hard to have that flexibility to play through multiple carries, how eager are you to actually see the way King plays into that aspect when it comes to Cloud9?
Yeah, very, because I mean, as we've identified, Fudge has emerged as another carry on the team. Yep. So maybe King doesn't have to be that carry. Maybe he can just be the guy who does his job in team fights. And it's actually blowing my mind to think it wasn't that long ago that Fudge was considered a liability. And it seems like every look we get at him, he's better and better and better. And I'm hoping to see, as you guys mentioned, more investment top to support that narrative.
Yeah, I mean, there was like, what, 8 Gragas games in a row in Spring Split where he was kind of like the
Yeah,
weak side,
Gragas
like,
is-
all right, get over there, Fudge, have fun while we go play around Perks and bot line.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm excited to see this kind of a flexibility that they started showing at MSI, excuse me, where, you know, they were showing the Lee Sin top and some huge carry performances.
Yeah, and speaking of Lee Sin, I mean, it goes back to the what's made Cloud9 so strong is their mid jungle. It's should be a reminder for everybody the fact that Blabber is the split MVP.
Yes.
That he is just still the best jungler right now in North America. And so Cloud9, they're going to be relentless in how they play through mid. And it's like the end point. You know, you can start through mid, but now you're going to end towards the top side that I think is really nice to see. And now going up against Golden Guardians, I really want to see what this new look looks like.
Yeah.
Because the inconsistency, I think their first 10 minutes in the later portions of Spring Split was just the most like up in the air. We really need consistency in their first 10 minutes, and I think Solo gives that. Solo is the type of person, if we see, the veteran top laner, I think the comparisons that I've heard when, talking to people is like Haunter, what he provided when he was on Golden Guardian. If you have that cool-headed top side of the map, can give it to you. And I'm high on Chime. Chime when he was with Prismal, with Golden Guardians Academy, and they made that run, I've always thought that Chime was, developing at a really fast pace, had great team fight IQ as well. So Golden Guardians, I hope can put it. This matchup, maybe not.
It's a tall order.
It's a tall one. But I think as they go along in the split, I think they should be taking some wins that people don't expect.
Yeah, and to go back in history a little bit, there was a point at which we were excited about Golden Guardians. We were like, whoa, these guys are way better than expected. Iconic, we thought was a pretty strong jungler, and overall, it's clear that he has some room to develop in terms of his consistency and pathing and how much he supports his lanes. But now that he has Solo and he has a more stable top laner, I think this is another opportunity for him to prove himself.
Yeah, I think just when you have two really young guys in jungle in a top lane position, top lane is such an island where wave manipulation matters so much more, crashing your waves with your jungle. It's just really hard to develop two players out of college at the same time. And so I agree that Solo, being that kind of veteran presence in the top lane, won't need as much attention and will work also better with Iconic probably.
It was interesting because I think the stat that people were oftentimes pointing out with Iconic was the fact that he would be able to hit 6 the fastest out of most junglers because he's he's just full clearing, right?
Yeah.
So if that's going to be the angle, and previous split, it's Niles who is just looking to aggressively skirmish in the lane. I just want us to be on the same page, and that's what I'm looking for with Golden Guardians. As long as they're in the same page, keep the first 10 minutes consistent. Going up against Cloud9, it's a first step to look at.
One team with some roster changes, the other one coming fresh back into scrims and some LCS action after quite the busy extended offseason. But it is time for those fresh faces to clash on the Rift as we once again hand it over to Freak, Kobe, and Azale for the call.
Thank you very much, Latigris, and it's time for some tradition because we have some business to attend to as our defending champions Cloud9 are taking to the stage. Many teams have won the LCS. It has been made by many, but every split, it is ruled by one. Cloud9 took the LCS last year. They took it this year. They repped the LCS heading to the Mid-Season Invitational by winning the Mid-Season Showdown. They battled on our behalf. They battled on North America's behalf. They went to Iceland. Sadly, they returned home at 5th. But now it's time to defend the title and see how strongly the players can play once again.
Yeah, I'm going to be really excited to see how much they have learned from that event. A lot of teams really speak so highly about getting that practice, about what it's going to do for them back in regional play. Obviously, they're going to have to relearn some of those lessons as there was a roster swap immediately after, things changing up, some of the roles being changed around as well between head coach and assistant coach. But I'm really excited to see how hot they come out of the gates.
Yeah, I was even listening to the interview that Fudge and Max Waldo did with Monty, and they were talking about only a few days of scrims, and readjusting to meta after being so deep in MSI meta. There's a lot of stuff that goes along with winning a region and going off to an international competition and then coming back. Sometimes teams have this like hangover upon returning to home soil here. We shall see if it actually emerges here. This one might be more of a headache, of a hangover than usual because of the bottom lane change. You know, that definitely throws a wrench in things. I have heard though, like King, you can see it on his face right now. He's just so excited for this opportunity. As soon as he got told that this was happening, he immediately jumped in solo queue and he's like spamming, 15, 20 games of solo queue a day. Is what Fudge was saying in the interview as well. So I'm super excited. Whenever you get to have an opportunity like that for a new player, it really can mean big things. Excited to see how he's integrated into the team, even if it's been only a few days.
Exactly. And as Raz was talking about earlier in his segment, though he is new to the LCS, he is not new to professional League of Legends. Yeah. It is not a rookie stepping on stage today. This guy has won the OPL a bunch of times, has been to Worlds, has been to MSI. He is a veteran. He has played for a long time. He's only 23, but he's been playing pro since he was like 17. So, he has a lot of experience, and that may give him a bit of a head start on some of these other players as they're joining teams. We can expect a higher level from him.
And the guy I'm talking about, Fudge, who was talking, about him, played with him on Mammoth at Worlds there. So it always helped to have, a friend as well.
Yes, absolutely. Of course, though, they are against Golden Guardians. They are the one team probably most sad about the fact that your record carries over from spring. 3-15 was a rough look. Well, they swapped out two of the players. Niles and Iconic came from Maryville U. They kept Iconic. Eyes were still on him to get better. We'll see if that happens. But Niles was also a bit aggressive, didn't have a lot of jungle help. He fell apart. So Solo is a player I am a big fan of. I think he is an outstanding top laner. He is a big part of the reason FlyQuest made back-to-back finals last year, went to Worlds with that squad, didn't find a team for spring. He's back. Solo is great. Solo, he's a good Fudge. It's going to be tough, but he's such an outstanding top laner. On this side of the map, we do get a real rookie in Chime stepping in.
I honestly agree so much with Solo. It always feels like we find ourselves in these situations where nobody in North America has picked him up for any position on any team. This was the same before he got picked up on FlyQuest, and they went all the way to Worlds. Yep. He was not on an Academy team. He was not on an LCS team. Boom. They went all the way to Worlds with him. And then after he makes it all the way to Worlds with this team, what happens at Zale? What happens again? Nobody picks him up for a whole split again. And then all of a sudden, it's like the NA team that's having the most troubles is like, we got to change something in top lane here. Let me call up Solo. Hey, you're still in there? Yeah, man, right in there. Yep. What you guys need? He's always willing to provide whatever the team needs. I feel like he does fit into whatever team pretty well. He kind of even self-professed himself as like, the
glue man.
Glue man to put in. You need tanks? I got tanks. You need carries? I got carries. What you need?
The glue man is such a horrible nickname.
It is a horrible nickname, but he chose it.
Okay, but either way, I am excited for him to come in. Not just specifically because I do think it's an upgrade for the roster, but I also think some of Solo's greatest strengths actually align with some of the big weaknesses that Niles had. To me, a lot of the issues stem from the fact that Niles had poor wave management, right? Yep. He was always dying to ganks, and that was often because he would overpush, he wouldn't be able to reset, he was low on resources, and he would get stuck in these awkward positions where his opponent's freezing the wave on him, and then he would get ganked, or he would get solo killed, or whatever. When you look at Solo and a lot of the times that he has really been very successful, he is so good at actually playing weak side of the map. Even when he is pressured, he is often staying very relevant as far as farm. He doesn't necessarily need jungle help because he is used to playing weak side of the map and very proficient at it. So I do think that is going to help tremendously. For Iconic, who is a young player, it's one less thing that you need to deal with all the time, right? You remove a variable, you say, okay, you don't need to help Solo. There may be games where they play towards him, but it allows you to have your pathing freed up a little bit more and know that you don't have to be plugging holes in every single lane.
I also want to look at the other solo laner here, Ablaze Olive, a guy that does not get a lot of press, does not get a lot of focus. And, talking to my boy, the Tanner DeMonte, another North American mid lane player, he was talking about how he actually put Ablaze up as the best North American mid laner. Not a lot of people do that. Pobelter up there very frequently. Palafox definitely mentioned all the time. But he really had a lot of good things to say, especially about Ablaze's lane phase. and his ability to play for himself and to get some leads. So I really want to start putting this up there because he's going against Perks, okay? Perks, literally the most decorated Western player of all time. Mid lane, back here, in-game leadership, individual plays. It's a tremendous opponent to put yourself against. And so this is one of the ones where you really want to put up there and prove it.
And for a lot of these Golden Guardians members, it's still about development. Yes, Solo is a veteran, but Blaze Olive is new to the LCS scene. You know, he obviously is developing very quickly or trying to continue that development.
Yep.
You know, Chime being brought in, Iconic is still there. You know, they do have a couple of veterans on the squad, but they are trying to really improve around them and get to a point where they can become a more competitive team.
Right, for 3/5 of the Golden Guardians roster, it is their rookie year.
Yep.
Right? 6% of Golden Guardians, actually probably 80%, because Niles will probably qualify, will be on the Outstanding Rookie of the Year ballot. Like, this is what they signed. Golden Guardians signed a fresh roster to say, okay, we're playing the long term. We're going to grow them all together. Okay, yes, they've signed in Seoul. They think that's going to be better right now. Niles is down in Academy. He's still getting his reps and whatnot. But, of course, we're into the draft. We got to get onto that right now. Gwen, banned red side, by the way. Udyr first picked. I think every team is going to consider him the most prized jungler, so no surprise there.
Interesting to see that he was even left up, though, right? You know, he has been getting banned out. Rumble is still available for Cloud9. They got a couple really big power picks here, and the interesting thing to me is going to be, do you go towards Nautilus as Cloud9 to try to go for that super prize bot lane duo, or do you move towards the Rumble to really secure the jungle?
And it's interesting for me too, because you know, a lot of people obviously going against this, but I actually think Udyr is overrated right now. After the last round of nerfs, he still does have very good early game, very good clear, still has the extra speed, but does just there are so many more options now, I feel like, in the jungle that I think it is being so overly prioritized as you always have to ban it. And you can really get some high priority stuff back for it, which to me, you know, with a Lee Sin, Kai'Sa pick up here for Cloud9, and they even then follow it with the Rumble. So it's not like they drop down a tremendous amount, giving up a lot for it. I think that positions you quite well, because if you are able, you know, to control some of the space here versus Udyr, and you have a lot of slows, you do have a decent amount of control here. I really do think you can have very, very good team fights.
One thing I will say, though, is, you know, when we kind of looked at this triumvirate of really powerful junglers we saw at MSI, it did start to kind of hash out that Udyr certainly had the advantage over the Rumble. You know, Rumble was kind of in the advantage against the Morgana, and then the Morgana had it over the Udyr. So Iconic is going to be in a good jungle matchup here, but Fudge getting his Lee Sin, we saw how damn good he is on that champion against some of the best top laners in the world. So I want to see what he can show for us here today.
Oh, he's up against Solo. I would actually consider him. I mean, he's obviously one of the best top laners in the LCS. He didn't have the best showing at Worlds, at least at the very start. You know, rounded out okay. But I do think, honestly, top lane matchup will be fairly close. We'll wait to see what his matchup's going to be into the Lee Sin. We're almost certainly seeing Lee Sin top Rumble jungle. It's what Cloud9 showed us the entire time through MSI. I just hold up the hope that one day they'll flex it. One day they'll flex it for a good matchup. It might not be today.
I will also say, though, okay, yes, Fudge, MSI, Lee Sin. The players are amazing. Love those highlights. Blabber and even Perks have put a tremendous amount of time in on Lee Sin. So if they have the opportunity, you know, they can definitely throw, because a lot of people are looking at MSI and think it's always going to be top. That is a very valuable flex. Okay,
yes,
I'm really hoping for it because it's going to catch a lot of people by surprise. But Blabber played a ton of Lee Sin.
Oh,
it's not. He's only on the Leona. It's a hover. It's not a lock.
I got so baited.
I
was spaced out. I played on time. I saw Bard. I got excited. I apologize. I have a small brain.
It's hey, we all do sometimes. It's okay. Gnar is going to be locked in. No problem there as well. I wonder. Right, Mega Gnar gets bigger when he evolves. Like, does his brain grow as well? Like, does he?
No, it stays a peanut.
Oh, okay, great.
The skull grows.
Yeah.
Right. It just flops around in there.
Exactly.
All right. Okay, Viego comes in though. Set support. Viego in mid, it looks like.
And Perks has been playing a lot of these style champions. If you tune into his stream post MSI, he was playing a lot of Gwen, a lot of Viego, you know, getting comfortable on these champions. I am excited to see him bring it out. I do think the aggressive champions fit his style more than the control mages. When you look at a lot of the best metas for perks, it has been where he has individual agency.
And I love that we're seeing this put to the test here, because so much of the talk has been the meta now revolves around AP jungle and these melee AD threat solo laners. That's exactly what Cloud9 are slapping down here versus a much kind of older style, more traditional setup here from Golden Guardians. You've got the Zoe in mid lane, very kind of universal. You can look for your picks later no matter what. The lane is fairly safe. You don't have to get close to the Viego early on in the lane, and you can focus on clearing the wave. And you even do have answers as far as the possible roams and looking for those picks. So I really do like that this is going to be a test. Throw down new school versus a bit of the old school, and we actually get to see it play out.
Yeah, it's an old school comp a little bit from Golden Guardians, but still new school players. I thought Stixxay with Newbie was one of the strongest points, probably the strongest point of Golden Guardians. Stixxay single-handedly carried, I think, 1 or 2 of their 3 wins on the season. And coming in with Chime, look, if he's ready to go out of the box, if it works out right now, and keep in mind, right, they're somewhat new playing together. Obviously, they weren't playing together in Spring Split. And in the Summer Split, obviously, well, King has shown up as well, right? So both duos are going to be a little bit raw together. And if there's a time to strike, it is now. Stixxay and Solo, probably the 2 strongest points of the team. Can they strike here against Cloud9?
I think it'll be really interesting. Definitely going to be a tough one for them, but I think Golden Guardians are going to surprise some people this split. I think they're going to do better than Spring. I do believe that they have upgraded, and we'll get a chance to see
I thought you were going to say, yeah, they're going to surprise some people. Watch them after they go after stage. They're going to be hiding in the corner, jump out of the shadows at you. Surprised me.
Waiting to
that's it
start.
for that. That's the horror theme.
Yeah, exactly. I've been watching, Kobe. Careful.
Oh my God. We still
Hide and
actually need to make hide and seek with Kobe and
We
Free.
made the trailer.
Yeah.
It's actually still like the pinned tweet at the top of my profile, and it has like,
Nice.
No
Dedication. I like it.
yeah, like people kept talking about it, like, when are you gonna make it? And so we made the trailer, and it's like still pinned, and it's like, no one cares.
For what it's
I'm
worth,
really unlucky.
I loved it.
I'm glad you did. I liked making it, but ultimately, you know, the people voted with their chat. They didn't vote with their eyes. That's how it works, okay?
We might have to crowdsource it because I think production was also like, you guys, we gave you the trailer. That's enough.
Yeah. Well, we are going to be on to the Rift. Golden Guardians inheriting their 3-15 record. 27 games to play, though, and top 8 make playoffs. If the team is good enough, they can make that run. And then, hey, it's just best of 5s, all right? From there, you can ignore your record and just make the carry on through. Cloud9, though, were the best team of Spring. Looking to keep that one going here.
And now I want to pry into something you touched on, Azale, on Champ Select, and it is this Udyr into Rumble. And so much of the teams at MSI that were able to punish Rumble, and especially with Udyr, did late invades or try to attack the jungle very early on against the Rumble to try and put him behind. And now that should even be more successful since the recent nerfs to the Rumble slowed it a lot of his clear and his early clear. So we don't see that here from the Golden Guardians. They aren't opening with a late invade. They aren't opening with a lot of pressure onto the Rumble. If Blabber gets to have a smooth early clear here, it honestly feels like it does go a lot more towards Cloud9's favor. If you're not using the Udyr to get in your face, make use of that speed and the base stats, then it's going to get problematic.
A really tight fight in the bottom lane. You saw them both posturing as much as they could to get level 2 first. Ultimately, though, Set just does more damage to minions, and you saw Golden Guardians had to back away. Unless your team somehow screw that up, they'll stay too long, and they'll lose a flash for the engage. But right now, Solo pressuring the top lane. Halo Blades, by the way, on this one. Now fighting the bottom side. Level 2 on both, though. Vulcan, will they even go for more? Yeah, decent damage, but the root, okay, it doesn't get plasma stacked. It's not too bad. Pretty close trade.
Yeah, very close back and forth. Pretty aggressive matchup here. And generally, you want to see that from a Set. It is such an effective champion with that true grit when you're fighting these close fights.
Do you think Sven's looking at the pro view for the free pro view right now for King to watch his key clicks, see what's going on there? The 80 carry spot hot here for Cloud9. Jump on into that pro view.
Yep.
If you're curious.
One free pro view per match. With the return of the LCS comes the return of pro view. You get a free one every match, and this one is going to be on the bot lane. This triumphant return is going to be Stixxay, maybe the best player on Golden Guardians. King, the new one on Cloud9. And we'll see how this one's going to battle up here. Because Vulcan almost finds that stun. That would have been half health off of Chime. I guess the other half meant maybe he's dead.
All right, all going according to plan here for Cloud9. Early Rumble jungle, smooth clear into bottom Scuttle Crab. Does finish up with Gromp as well. Honestly, this looks quite good for them.
It's going to be a trade of Scuttles. Ultimately, though, Iconic tried to make his time over to the bottom side. Yeah, couldn't get the Scuttle away, and as Blabber easily just cleans up the Gromp, it's going to be the same camps. But Blabber known to be bottom side as he finds dive.
Could be pretty risky here. All summoners available for Golden Guardians, so it doesn't seem like you've got a lot of structure to that dive. He is going to drop just the deep ward here onto Krugs. We'll see the delayed, top to bottom clear is kind of assumed, and it's just going to see the second spawn.
Should give a little bit of safety there for their bot lane, who is pushing pretty heavily here too. And when they don't show up, the Udyr's just kind of back on top side clearing again, likely just cycling those camps on cooldown. I'm waiting to see if Vulcan wants to use an early flash. A lot of the sets do like going for Hex Flash and using that flash very aggressively, trying to trade out and then control the brush, look for those trades. And Perktier just withstanding the pressure in mid lane. You can see he went D-Shield, he went Resolve Secondary. You're really just trying to shrug off most of the poke here.
Oh, nice. Gets a Gore Drinker, so we'll blaze Olive with some wave clear tools. The Prowler's Clawed earlier. Q's going to land. Decent damage out of Fudge. Catches the Boomerang, but yeah, Solo got to 200 HP. Rank 1 Lee Sin Q will never kill. He's not going to be a problem. But this top lane wave, if he wants to freeze it, he can. Could force the TP out of Solo. Not going to land that face breaker either, so decent damage. Vulcan going to wait. Haymaker, and it's going to be, blocking the damage from Explosive Charge.
Yeah, Chime has actually been receiving a lot of punishment, but they're doing it on purpose. Even though it's a losing trade, they've got the jungle.
Early flash follow. They're going to land the stuns, and that's going to be first blood. And the ignite isn't enough. Not enough to trade down. Cleanse forced out of King as he was stunned up again. And Golden Guardians in the bottom lane find first blood on Vulcan.
And look at that, Chime. He's willing to take these trades, sacrifice his HP over and over in lane, even though it's a losing trade for him in isolation. This is not an isolated lane, baby. Jungle comes in, they time it with the jungle, no hesitation on the flash from Iconic.
Yeah, not at all, and there's no heal on King. He's playing Cleanse, so he didn't have that to be able to keep Vulcan alive. I think the Haymaker was actually even still on cooldown from the previous trade, so you don't even have that shield to keep yourself alive.
Crucially, that ward on Krugs, never saw him. He skipped Krugs to make this gank happen. Good flash follow.
It was an early flash from Vulcan, really did all he could, but as you can see, Haymaker's on cooldown, didn't actually have the ability, and the instant flash coming through from Chime, he barely survives. One more auto attack to trade there, but Cloud9 should be able to grab the dragon.
Yeah, I mean, those things I just love hitting on over and over, because a lot of, jungling is you have to remain efficient always, and your laners making trades like that, burning cooldowns, small cooldowns on basic abilities like Haymaker means such a large difference, but also, the summoner spells, the health trades in advance of your gank, and timing that with your jungle pathing.
They both get Noon Quiver off the recall, though, and right now there's a CS lead for King as he's ready to keep going on this one. Looking for a play on mid, maybe. Hex Flash spotted.
Also, big benefit, upon the recall, getting to go roam and get those deeper wards. You see the control ward placed by the Golden Guardians up behind that red buff to see up by Raptors if Blabber comes through. This is a level 6 Rumble now, so definitely can look for some of these all-ins. Viego is always such a great lane to gank at 6 because the ultimate with the execution has a really, really high probability of getting one of those early kills. You just got to do a little bit of damage to help him out, get him to that threshold, and then, Viego able to steal the soul, and you instantly win the 2v2 as well.
It's a little bit of an awkward spot, this wave right now. If Fudge wants to hold the wave, you can hold a freeze, and Solo is taking a reset, but he knows that Iconic is on the other side of the map, so it's a bit dicey to recall here, and this does mean that in Mini-Gnar, Solo could potentially be at risk here, but playing it pretty safe, backing up, faking a recall, then going back.
Hex Flash, Rocket Jump, pulls him back out. Here come the TPs to follow. They got to get away fast here. Vulcan gets the punch, not a ton of true damage, and Buster Shot gets perks out. The engage comes across, and all it gets is a force TP and nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, really, really good disengage right there. See if the transition up towards mid can mean anything.
It's actually 2 cooldowns. King flashed as well, so they get perks to TP. He's not going to lose any farm like the wave's here for him, but 2 cooldowns for a Hex Flash is outstanding.
It is. It's absolutely really, really good, and the pressure that they are creating pretty nice down there in that bottom lane. A lot of eyes going to be on King to actually perform very, very well, because Sven has been such a solid player for Cloud9 in his time with the team, performed pretty well internationally also, and King has got to be able to bring that to the table here. But so far, it's been Stixxay, Chime, and the assistance and coordination with Iconic that have been netting advantages for Golden Guardians.
Definitely has. Bottom side going well, though they weren't able to get the first dragon because in the aftermath, Blabber able to easily burn it down, overheat with Rumble. So was able to get the objective on that side of the map. We are approaching time for Rift Herald, though. Perk's already going to try and take a look. Iconic has an early position on the scuttle, but this is timing with Vulcan early support roam. You look at the mini-map right now, both AD carry and support heading up for Golden Guardians. So even though they've got the first rotation there on Cloud9 to grab Scuttle Crab, Golden Guardians do invest their timers as well to try and make sure this is not going to be a taken Rift Herald in the opening.
Exactly, and if C9 want to go for it, they got to wait for King because his recall was so much later. It looks like they do still want it, and with King out here on the map heading over there, they can start to pull this. We will see Tristana is down towards bot lane. Cloud9 doesn't necessarily know this until he shows on the wave, but this will be Cloud9's Herald.
Okay, so the question is, cross map, what do you get? Because no one's in bottom lane. This is now known information. Golden Guardians, see where King is. So do you get the EV of a Herald? Do you get 2 plates out of bot because of that move? If you do, Herald got nothing special.
And I think it's always very beneficial to take this choice when you have a Tristana, because Tristana is going to be able to get that value, right? You see right now in the picture-in-picture, Stixxay wailing away at the turret, explosive shot, can quickly get those turret plates off in time, in payment for that rotation. Plus, you're looking at the composition in whole, right? Blabber on the Rumble, really looking to try and use that. Since Cloud9 got early priority on positioning in River, you then have to go through those small jungle corridors. You don't want to have to walk through Rumble Ultimate and Viego looking to snap those kills up.
And when I'm trying to evaluate, was it worth going for a Herald play, I'm also always looking at, who the gold is going to. And even if it is an even amount of gold for the teams, it is not even in the distribution. Getting solo gold on your Tristana is really just more valuable than Rumble plus anyone sharing that same amount of gold. The completion of items is always worth more than the pieces. The solo experience is worth a lot as well for Stixxay. So Golden Guardians looking really good in the early minutes of this game. It has just been the one major play down towards the bot side, but they're up 1,000 gold and they are looking very competitive.
There we go. Ward's killed. Vulcan going to add to that stat, no problem. Up to the vision score. Goes from 8 to 11. A nice ward killed. And okay, once again, they're going to put the vision down. Now, Chime and Iconic are spotted. Sweeper comes down, going to get that one as well. Also gets 2 to the vision score, and we look at bottom control. Dragon coming up in 6 seconds, and Vulcan wants to walk in, but doesn't have the support network around him just yet. Now they're coming over. Now this could be the play. Stun coming up. Equalizer very nice on a 3. Dunk comes across. Do they have the damage? Flash forced away. The stun. That could be a kill. He's flashing to safety. The last tick of Ignite's going to kill him as a Blaze Olive kills him off with his own Ignite thanks to Spell Thief. Maybe it was Spellbook. Either way, he gets the kill. 2-0 on the scoreboard. Golden Guardians looking great.
They are looking great, Freak. That's another one in the bank as he barely burns down the last 6 of Ignite there. And now they have priority over the Dragon. Perk's still full HP on this Viego, though. Don't mess around and give him a soul.
Okay. Half health or lower on several. Remember, this can be tough because, yes, Perks can reset. He can go hard. Smite fight is going to be equal because 900 no matter what. Flash engage comes in, but Chime going to die, and he's going to come back in as Leona. Perks is very tanky. He's a Leona. It's not easy to kill. Ults over the wall, gets away. That engage goes wrong. It does mean the Dragon at the very least, but it is still a kill handed back. Now it's time for Solo. Flash ult comes across. Do they have the damage to kill him? They certainly do. The top laner comes in and finds himself a kill.
Nice fight back there from Golden Guardians, able to grab a kill on the exit. They did commit Solo's TP, so they wanted to at least get something there. They will be able to grab the topside scuttle as well, but Perks, involving himself, gets participation in that 1 kill.
And Dragon picked up for Golden Guardians as well. This is pretty big for them. 2 kills now on mid. Here's another look at how it starts. And again, focus here with the Ignite going down. They're trying to get off the Rumble ultimate. As he gets kind of dunked to the side, though, the extra little bit of damage there with his ulti, and the Ignite still ticking through from a Blaze's, Zoe Ignite there, does find the extra kill. When you start to get Zoes with a lot of kills here towards mid-game, and Golden Guardians actually have a decent amount of control for themselves, all of a sudden you have to check so many more angles. When you're looking for these Zoe bubbles, and the more traditional team comp here with a lot of easy follow-up for Golden Guardians does have a kind of easier and simpler path forward through this game.
It's looking good right now. Mid lane gonna crash. Congratulations, your Rift Herald got 2 turret plates. Lino Tristana got that 4 minutes ago, plus denied a wave from King's Kaisa. So as we look at the results, maybe that play wasn't quite worth it, but it's a very small part of a very large game. Ultimately, it's a 1,500 gold lead for Golden Guardians. 3 and 15. They love to shake that one off, but look, they got 27 games to play. They just got to move up 2 spots in the standings at the very least, and that can be enough. So far, so good for Solo. Divine Sunderer is in. Kraken Slayer in for Stixxay. Golden Guardians looking for another fight now on the bottom side. They're going to find the dunk backwards from Volca, but the man is flashless. He has no good escapes except for reinforcements, and that's going to be enough to keep more from happening.
Yeah, with everyone piling in there from Cloud9, with Blabber, they know the Rumble is missing. If you overcommit into the set, the Haymaker comes through, the Equalizer comes through, that can be problematic. But Solo up here on this top side with the Divine Sunder, as you called out, has been doing a good job. Has a slight CS advantage, made good on his TP down towards that Dragon play, and is just looking to pressure.
Bit of damage back and forth. Needs to get the hyper off. Can't quite do so. Thank you, move speed slow. Fudge still wants to fight. He's at half HP, but doesn't seem to care. He's getting a bit low, but he might find a solo kill. Woo!
Stack up that Conqueror, baby! Stack up that Conqueror and go for the burst damage on... Oh, Mini Gnar. Here we go, though.
Yeah.
Man, when I see plays like that, that to me screams champion expertise.
Yeah.
You know the limits. You have done that testing, and you have figured it out, because he is going forward at such low health there, but he knew he would have enough damage with Conqueror stacked up to be able to find that execute.
And this is the thing, there are not surprises from Gnar. If you see the Mini Gnar and you see the Rage Bar right there, so he knows he can go for it. There's not going to be some crazy burst that comes out for him. So love this Honda performance replay as we look at it again. This is him just starting now to charge back up the Rage Bar, so really good. Stridebaker in for the slow. Conqueror is fully stacked. You have the kick plus the follow on the Q, flashing to make sure he just instantly can get that auto. And then Ward jumps right back out just for safety. He's right back in with another Stridebreaker, lands the slow, but no extra follow-up here.
And this is what we kind of saw from Fudge at MSI, was the playmaking. It wasn't necessarily about lane dominance, it was about the X factor, about him finding those plays, turnaround games.
Ulti in, heal burned early for the save to get some move speed. Chime, though, very tanky. That W, pretty outstanding at surviving Rumble ult. Pretty much blocks the ticks and doesn't have an issue getting away. But hey, that is ult for a summoner heal. That is a positive trade cooldown-wise. The question is, do you need those cooldowns for this Rift Herald fight? Dragon spawns in 50, and Chime maybe went too far. Has to flash away from the Lee Sin Q, and just like that, Cloud9 on the top river.
Rift Herald number 2 should go their way. Teleport committed by Cloud9. This was Perkz on the bottom side. Option is going for split push, but they decided to hard commit for this Rift Herald. All 5 members finish it off. In the meanwhile, yes, you can kind of bob and weave as Golden Guardians. Quick little jab towards mid lane here to chunk a bit off of the turret, but that is going to be it. So teleport cooldown timer invested from Perkz, but Rift Herald is picked up, and this team does really want to open up the outer towers. Still no towers picked up yet. So they're going to try and just brute force that mid one down.
It's probably to die at this point. It's a pretty late Rift Herald. It might just die to the charge itself. 2,500 is about the damage you're getting out of this. We'll see if it gets one shot. It does. So that is no one getting the gold, by the way. No one touched it. So the 400 total local gold does not go anywhere. 250, though, still earned by Cloud9.
And again, Cloud9, they want to look for more of these obtuse angles, whereas it is Golden Guardians. Hey, fight us front to back. Please fight us front to back here. And it is Cloud9 looking for, do we have control wards? Do we have Lee Sin, possible teleport in on the bottom side? Fudge here. They've got them surrounded, but Dragon should get finished up.
Okay, Equalizer on to 2. Smite battle going to be in soon. Early Smite still claimed. Iconic gets it, and now the team fight has begun. A flash away from Iconic stays alive, but 1 for 0 so far as King picks it up. And now you've got more coming across. Perkz is Zoe. He's good at that champion. On to Stixxay they go. The double kill comes across for King, and now this turret is going to belong to Cloud9 as well. Perkz dives in. Ult comes across, gets all the resets. They're going to get the ace. You got to believe it. Triple kill comes across. There's all 5. Blabber loses his life, but what a team fight for Cloud9, the Bud Light 8.
Oh my God, Perkz went off in that fight. taking over the Zoe, landing asleep. They kill off the Tristana. You jump in on that too, and you hop right in to clean up those kills. Cloud9 have been getting pressed by Golden Guardians, but their team fighting bails them right out.
And what's his reward? 6 whole assists for Perks. What a team player. It's Viego Day. Here's another look at it, though. Again, yes, they're able to burn down the Dragon, but the positioning for Cloud9, they get the flank positioning that they're looking for here. I love it. King, the new AD carry in immediately. Ults right in, follows up on that plasma. Blabber's happy to tank up this turret as they go for the dive again. Dunk there from Vulcan to make sure they don't have the extra response. And they're able to finish off the last one here. Yes, one more turret shot does mean 1 death on the side of Cloud9, but so much gold is given over.
5-1 in the team fight. You take a Dragon deficit for that one. Not going to be a problem. They get away. But a bot lane, that turret's almost dead there as well. So more gold soon to be earned. Cloud9 definitely have turned the corner in this mid game.
And you can see Perks, again, going a very defensive build here. This is 2 games in a row on the Viego. We have the shield bow, and he's actually going into just, looks like pure tank right after the shield bow. And I think it actually makes a lot of sense.
They're going to look for damage on a Perks. Takes a big chunk of damage. Ults away. Shield bow pop. Did they have the damage? Oh, that is a great equalizer. Onto the stun. Stixxay just roasting down and gets killed off by Blabber. Second half, though, is solo on the Mega Gnar. Can't find the damage. Now Blabber a bit low, but Iconic doesn't have the damage on Tank Udyr, so Cloud9 are going to clean it up yet again. The kick back. The Q lands. Perks has taken that kill. One finally goes back, and a flash force out of a Blaze Olive. Full HP, by the way, for Perks. Doesn't quite find that stun, but he's still on the chase.
Vulcan just looking like a superhero here as Perks is running for his life, barely escapes. He goes in, he's like, you know what? This is actually an opportunity for us. Claps them together for Blabber's damage on Rumble. They roast him down, and he even gives away his life in the end there.
They can't do it.
Baron attempt is too much because they're so low health, but man, what a turnaround play there. It looks like with 3 people on Perks, he's got to run for his life. Look at this. Picked off, doesn't get quite sunned up, ults right out, and then Vulcan arrives to lock him up on the damage.
I mean, this is the tanky build in action. They committed so much. Vulcan turning around the play, but not only the initial play, then Solo comes through and tries to kill him off. The Q is dodged as Perks dodges behind it. That doesn't land. King is free firing on a Solo that whole time on the other side. Sure, you do lose the set, but you're piling through. You're getting so much here. And Perks is full HP by the end of it. He's going to be going probably like a Randuin's or something here next. And he's just going to be so damn hard to take down. And there's so much damage in the rest of the squad that you don't need to be the hero with the Blade of the Rune King and the Kraken Slayer killing people off. You have these other 3 members around you who are going to be fine to do that. So be tanky, be disruptive. I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you know what? Just kill the carries on the opposing team and then take their souls and use their items. They'll build the offensive items for you.
Exactly.
As long as you get there for the first kill, you just take the resets to keep on going. Looking good right now as we're looking at the next setup here. The gold difference still only 3,000, not insurmountable, but it is a meaningful Cloud9 lead, especially with a 4-kill Kai'Sa. That's going to feel real comfortable. Top it under only a little bit of fire. Looks like they will let Tristana knock that turret down. So Stixxay going to get a solo turret. Now Chime in a lot of danger. Flashed over the wall. The Blaze Olive doesn't find much. And Chime, he flashed to only be found out by Perks anyway. Gets stunned up, puts the shield on, but King about to be in range to chase one down. Probably they find that kill. He's running. They flash for it. Lock it. Pop. Doesn't matter. They get that kill. And Iconic is still on the way out. Big damage on a Blabber that rumbles at half HP. But the chase down still comes across. Cloud9 take a 1 for 0.
I love that Cloud9 just forces because they know, and they saw Tristana pushing that last wave top. And so the Tristana not there, there's very little damage in this team. You can just brute force chase them through their jungle, over walls, use everything. There are like 3 ultimates used on Leona. Usually you're like, oh, that's going to be bad for a team fight for you afterwards. But guess what? You know, Tristana, biggest threat, isn't there, and they see her. So really good, you know, chase down there.
And now it's going to be all about this dragon. It's about to spawn here. Cloud9 do have some low health bars, though. You know, King didn't actually get to reset. So if everyone from Golden Guardians can get over here, it would be a bit of a risky fight for Cloud9. You know, they're also missing the ultimate on both Perks as well as Fudge, and this would be sole point for Golden Guardians, so it's a huge one.
Ocean Soul can do a lot to turn back the team fights. It's not a really fast burst, so the Ocean will do a ton. TP gonna be spotted now. They know where Perks is. Chime gonna be attacked, but Leona is tanky. Stridebreaker gets Fudge out of the stun. Here comes the dunk. Hits a couple for the slow. Equalizer over the top. They find Tristana, but he's able to rocket jump away. But Iconic is just out of health. Flashes should barely stay alive. Fudge can't reach him, but the killer! Oh, what a shot! The W from downtown. King finds himself the kill. And now it's time to get a little bit more done because Golden Guardians are on a 4v5. Now Vulcan's low, so is Perks, but can they get enough done? They find that stun, the flash is safe. The stun's not going to be enough for Chime. They get the kill on a Vulcan. Ignite is off, but they're not going to get any more just yet. The kick comes in for Fudge. Pops Zonia's Hourglass, keep the Blaze Elf alive. Tristana finds another Sixday, is still fighting. Sixday's still alive, but here comes the rest of the damage. He's going to fall asleep, and they might just find that kill. No, they stopped hitting him. They stopped hitting him. They let him get the kill on Trist. He woke up, but what a team fight, so close between the two.
And now with Golden Guardians retaining control of this dragon, Blabber is alive, has smite, but no flash, so it's just so dangerous to even go over there. Soul Point is on the line.
Well, Rumble is alive. Blabber has the smite, has the ulti, but doesn't have the vision. And that means, I believe, he might have stolen one or spellbooked it. The smite comes through. Soul Point.
Man, I'm just having so much fun watching Viego in these fights. The initial play here is looking pretty good for C9, but then you realize King is zoned out by Iconic, so he can't actually follow up on the initial engage. But able to snipe down Iconic, they kill him off. C9 looks like they're going to pile through the play, but this is where Tristana really came up big for Golden Guardians.
Yeah, they try and brute force here. You see, Perks on Viego trying to charge in with the tank build. Chime creates so much space though, and a Blaze Olive coming in with that Paddle Star for the execution.
Look at this though, Perks becomes Leona, Zenith Blade in, stun him up, ult on his head, almost kills off Sixday immediately. So, did they lose vision here?
They can't, he's in the brush.
Inside
He's
the brush.
Yeah.
He is inside the brush, just barely there.
At a certain point, obviously, as soon as he wakes up, he autos you to death, so they want to take as long as they can, but I think the man had Merc Treads based on that sleep duration, so just walks out of it pretty quickly, and now another attempt. That's a good time on the ulti. It prevents the sleep from coming through. Ulti coming across, but only hits Chime. Not that important there, of course, that happens. Solo! Meganar into 3. Helga's the frontline fight, though, because Iconic has to come right back out. Fudge, ward hops away, stays alive. Is there a re-engage, though? Can they find any more damage? Blaze Ult gets an extra flash. Looking for the next sleep. Looking for the next bit of damage.
They can just push this mid wave and get priority there first. Blaze Olive playing with a little bit of fire, going for that poke here. If they're able to land anything on the backside, it could be super detrimental. But regardless, pushing that mid wave allows you to then retreat back to the Baron and kind of collapse your vision hold around it.
Well, Golden Guardians have a win condition, and it's Ocean Soul in 3 minutes. A 2K gold deficit disappears when you get that one. You maybe favor him a little bit, but Cloud9 should still generally own the map. Sure, a couple things will go down, but Cloud9 can fight before then.
Now, Golden Guardians really should focus on this vision. They can get so much value out of a Zoe pick. A Zoe bubble right now, with the power that you have on, Sork Shoes plus 2 item power spike here with the Rise and Finish on top of the Looted Zeko. A Blaze Olive lands that sleep. That sleep on one of these members could provide such big dividends. So if you put the investment into your vision and try and open up a lot of angles for the Zoe to find that with, that can be the big play that you need to actually get a win versus Cloud9. I mean, they're on Soul Point. They have so many things that they can just push it a little bit farther. Opening up Summer Split for them, completely like rewriting and changing this year, would be a very uplifting moment for this underdog team.
It would be huge, and that's why it's going to come down to a lot of the setup around the Dragon, right? If you're first to the scene, if you control it, you get your pinks out, and Cloud9 has to face check into this Zoe, it becomes very, very difficult. And while Vulcan is finding a lot of engages, Cloud9 isn't necessarily all there piling into the same time, right? It's often him going in, Blabber drops the equalizer, but Perks, Fudge, King aren't necessarily able to actually follow up and get the initial kills.
Here we go. 2 minutes now left. Sleep comes across, not going to mean any kills, but Fudge does stride break to build some distance. Solo's looking for some Q poke. Thornmail done onto him to cut some healing away as he's going to find some damage on a Vulcan. Spots Perks there as well. Solo has good target access, has Meganar right now. Can't find the fight.
I think Cloud9 should definitely wait out this Vega. They're not really in a lot of danger with this Baron, but they're forcing it. Solo still has 50% left on that rage bar for the Mega.
Yeah. Can they force him to go for the play? Right now, Fudge on the outside of the pit, watching them go forward, still half health. They know that one now, and now it's Mininar.
Now go.
But that's going to be enough maybe to force
Here
them
comes
to
Vulcan
turn
behind.
around.
He's
Blabber still
flashing.
tanking Blabber. It's going to be Vulcan going in for the dunk. It's the first engage. Blabber very, very low, but they find that kill in a solo. A kickback, and Blaze Hollow stays alive. Fudge does as well, and Chime drops second. And it's time for Perks to set up his team. You've played bot lane, you've played mid lane, you've played support. As he finds the stun, he finds the kill onto Stixay as Vulcan claims it. And it's time for Golden Guardians to turn tail and run.
It gets you a man who can do it all. He's the mid laner, he's the support, and now he's the AD carry.
Get a champion that fits that role, baby. Do everything you need. Cloud9 pick up the Baron on the back half of this. Honestly, this has actually been such a fun 1-2 watch. Cloud9, I thought they were going to rush it with this Baron. You know, they're burning it down to 50%, but they're calculated. They wait exactly till Mega just expires, and Vulcan's like, I'm going in! Right over the wall. Mega is down, so he dunks the Mininar right back into them.
Exactly, and that was the moment where everyone could follow up. Perks then finding the Zenith Blade onto Iconic, not wasting the stun onto him, but stunning up Stixay. Instead, the team piles in, they kill him off, they get the Baron. But can they get this Dragon? They need to stop the snowball towards Soul here. Golden Guardians may just give this one up, not wanting to risk it. Solo does not have TP in his top side, so they won't contest.
It's a Spellbook Zoe on the map, so
Yeah,
I always keep my options open for random steals. It's not going to be a case this time around. Can't even get close, he's in base, but definitely have to keep your eyes open there. Number 1 of Soul Point denied here, so Cloud9 avoid that for another 450.
For now, it's what can you do with the Red Bull Baron. 2 minutes on that one, your Goldie's already 5K. You expect to just balloon that one, knock down 2 inhibitors. That's my expected situation there. Chime Hex flashes out and doesn't get hit by Lee Sin Q, but still going to be chased in. Vulcan going to find his stun, not going to go ahead and waste the ult. They just have the chase down, no problem. 6 deaths now for Chime. Had the lead in the lane, not doing well now.
Yeah, looking good there, and Perks is pushing in the mid lane. With one member already down, you really do feel like the chances of defending this are slipping away very fast. The tier 2 mid is going to go down. The bottom lane inhibitor tower is gone. The inhibitor likely to fall.
Give that one away. You now look at the other lanes. Can you find any poke? Not really, not going to mean enough. Inhibitor going to drop now on these few auto attacks whenever they choose to walk up. And King gets to go for 1. Cannon's dying, actually. But you've got Viego pushing in mid, and right now they're ignoring that. So in fighting for a dead inhibitor, they are giving priority onto the mid lane. That turret's dropped down to 3/4 already. They finally show up now, but Perks just going to walk away without much issue, and the siege can continue. Mid lane was not cleared, which means another inhibitor is under a lot of threat. Equalizer going to prevent the re-engage. Blabber knew he could have been a target. Second inhib turret is dead. Inhibitor itself now going to be the easy one to go for. King walks up, no problem. Stun going to be found out there. Perks wants in. They get the chase down. One auto will kill him. A flash, and the chase in. King finds it. Stunned out of the turret though, and he's going to be locked down. He goes 1 for 1. That's not the kind of trade he wants. Some explosive charge claims the last hit, so Stixay goes 1 for 1 individually. The chase in for Fudge once again knows his limits. That team fight is now 1-2-1.
I love these long Lee Sin plays all the way across to your screen there. Cloud9 with the Baron are looking to put their finishing touches on this one. Teleport should be ready for
They're
fight.
trying to win 4v3.
There it is. You just teleport right back in.
18 seconds on Tristana, but the wave and a Mega Gnar is available. Now, the fight's going to be really hard to win when all of your damage is gone. There's really no way you kill anyone, but TP is spent and ultimately means nothing. The cooldown maybe could matter in the future, but honestly, Cloud9 get to walk away, claim the jungle, and look to set up for the Dragon.
And thankfully, they still have a TP on Perk, so they can have someone out in that side lane. We'll see if it does end up mattering. But with Cloud9 unable to finish the game with that Baron, you look again toward that potential Soul. That could be the comeback mechanic here for Golden Guardians, but it's difficult when you're going to be having supers flooding in mid, supers flooding in bot.
And look at this. I'm actually loving this tank Viego build, especially for pro play when you trust your teammates. It allows Perks. He just keeps on walking straight into the opponent's team. He walks right up to Tristana, is able to get a huge chunk on him. He enforced him out of the fight. There's the downtown long-range Fudge Lee Sin play we're talking about, picking up the extra kill. But right back out to the map, you can just keep on, diversify into maybe a 4-1 here. Try and get your supers up to the base to apply that pressure, and then transition over to the last lane to finish off.
Double inhibitor down. Sadly for Cloud9, top lane does not have automatic pressure, so that's an easy lane to ignore for a moment, or just TP match, and it's not going to be an issue. I don't know if Golden Guardians get out of the base, though. As we've seen, the gold lead is 9,000, and their Dragon Soul may be continually denied. And then, honestly, Cloud9 can just turn around and grab Baron with the gold lead they've got. It's going to be some heroics for Golden Guardians to turn one around. As top lane tier 2 finally falls, it's time to siege for the inhibitor. No Baron buffs, the wave clear is not going to be too hard, but the team fights are still very, very difficult on the Golden Guardians side.
Waiting for those supers to come in. Time is on your side. Here we go.
Stun lands, big damage. Zhonya's pop, but they find a stun in the backline. King has to ult to get away. A flash for Blabber keeps him alive, but King is down. Equalizer buys a lot of time. Second sleep will land onto Viego. Doesn't ult to get away. Second stun comes across. They're going to find a lot of lockdown, and he finally ults away. Stays alive for this one. Dunk comes across, but it might be Vulcan just doing it to keep his team alive. Has his Zhonya's Hourglass, burns a stopwatch, re-engage. Will they kill him? It's a 1-for-1 so far. The chase comes in. Perks has resets, has to ult right back out though. Blaze all out of Zhonya's, trying to run away. Does Golden Guardians have the chase? The Dragon's up in 35 seconds, and so is Blabber.
Remember, this is Ocean Soul as well. This could be big for Golden Guardians. Yes,
losing their base.
They've got super minions inside hitting the Nexus turrets, but a couple of recalls can quickly clear that trash out. 20 seconds left on the Dragon. Every member of Cloud9 will be up. So it's still like
but running out of the base.
It's still going to be risky.
I mean, Blabber's going to spawn 10 seconds after the Dragon actually is up, and then he's got, what, 20 seconds to actually get to the pit? So Golden Guardians are going to have a good 30 seconds, and then you're going to be face-checking into a Zoe and potential Mega Gnar here. There's a real shot at grabbing Ocean Soul and potentially turning this game around. It looks like it's just theirs.
What a huge team fight. The long-range bubble caught Blabber, and they had the follow-up to win the battle. So still, it is a 7,000 gold lead, but buffeted by an Ocean Soul.
And the only healing debuff you have is the one Oblivion Orb for Blabber. You're going to need some upgraded heal cut here when you're going against Ocean Soul with 3 tanky frontliners. Cloud9 may be in trouble.
Here, though, right? They know he's down in bottom lane clearing the wave. They know he left now, but the chance of taking a 5v4 always matters. Once again, waiting for the wave, and eventually the inhibs will despawn. That's coming in soon. Right on the vision, starting Baron again.
Solo, he does TP. He did transform right back into Mini, so he's going to have to build up his rage.
And they're rushing down Baron fast. They're going to have Iconic around 3k health. Here comes the fight. Dunks right in on the Mega Gnar, and that's going to blow him up instantly. And now how about the re-engage? King is low, but he is not dead. He can look for the fight again afterwards. Is the re-engage good? There is a sleeping Rumble. There is a dead Rumble. And now the chase on a Vulcan. Puts on the shield. Not going to matter. Stun's not going to help him anymore. Time to run away.
For the base.
A TP is going to be matched, though, as they're going to have a Blaze Olive show up as well. They'll lose an inhibitor and not much more.
He is going to get it. He gets it on the way out, but it's going to be a scramble. Baron started up by Golden Guardians. Perks has to run his entire way there. Teleport comes in from Fudge.
Fudge and King, the Australian duo. They're going in. They're going in. They're going to have Fudge. They're going to have Perks. They're going to have the big play. Stun, kick. They're looking at Iconic. They've got a ton of damage. He's going to buy a few more seconds. Randuin's in a locket shield, keep him alive. A flash for Stixxay. Dodges the Lee Sin Q. Zhonya's for Fudge. Going to get him almost nothing. Flash to safety. Tries to stay alive. Now the stun into Perks. He doesn't have good ways to get away. Ignite is on. The chase is in. A Blaze Olive finds one. Perks going to find himself dead. That's going to be 3 unanswered kills. Nars holding the base. There's Baron's a freebie, or is it the base instead?
They're going to go for the base. That's a minute respawn on Perks here. Golden Guardians marching down mid. They do have Equalizer to try to kill the wave, so I'm not sure if they can end, but they're going to look for it here, and look at the potential flank.
A Blaze Olive Zoe Bubbles are turning this around for Golden Guardians!
And that wave will not die. It is aimed too far forward. It does not catch the whole cannon minion. Either way, there's a reinforcement coming. So they're pushing for the game right now. 20 seconds on the last 3. Here comes the dunk. How good's the play? A Blaze Olive back on the back line. Vulcan just trying to kite them. And yes, as you mentioned, Azael, they got the wave. They'll find a kill, but they will not find the Nexus turrets.
Oh my goodness. You hear the tales of the Zoe Bubbles and the Battle Shot, the Battlestar one-shots. They're a reality.
They're going to try in the 5v4 of Blaze Olive's rookie year. They bring in 2 new players, and Golden Guardians about to start the Summer Split with a win over the defending LCS champions. Wave cut again by Equalizer. Zhonya's pop. 5v4 going to be tough. He is Mega Gnar. Finds the double stun. Finds the Mega Gnar. And he's going to find himself a whole heap of kills. Fudge trying to kite away. Solo getting a bit low, but buying enough time as Fudge is now attacked. He's got a shield for a few moments. Decent damage and a chime, but not enough to stop it. Minis in the base might not be enough, but be careful that the kill comes across as now King is dead. There is still a the wave, but it's being reinforced by the dead mid inhibitor. Once again, we're gonna try his very best as Vulcan goes for the face break, but he's not gonna save the base. Golden Guardians take down Cloud9.
10 taken down first to kick it off here in Summer. The roster swaps for Golden Guardians in full effect, looking really good there. And a Blaze Olive, you said it, Kobe. What a game on the Zoe, finding the key targets, making the big plays, and turning around a game where they were in a huge deficit.
Yeah.
They had that dream of the Ocean Soul, but Cloud9 started winning fights, started pulling away, and you're thinking, well, the dream is dead, but it wasn't for Golden Guardians. They found the fights they needed. They got the Tristana resets. They got the Zoe sleeps, and they take a well-deserved win.
Turns out the Golden Guardians got a package deal. They signed Solo, they moved Chime up, and it came with blue shells. From last up there, taking out first place in the first game of Summer. That has gotta feel good for them. You know, making some adjustments here in Summer and immediately getting a win on the board.
And it sets the stage now for Golden Guardians moving forward. All right? You took down a win. Sure, you have to fight back from a 3-15 start. Spring split matters, and it wasn't a good look. But you replace 40% of the roster, and you start out taking out the #1 team. 26 more games to go to make up those spots, to get as far as you can and hit that playoff running. If this is the performance they show, the good parts of this game, if those stick, this is a scary team.
And Cloud9, they did their due diligence, warning everyone, yo, we're coming back from MSI. Only a few days of practice on this. They also switch out a player with only a few days of practice. But that game was definitely exciting, you know, both ways through it. Definitely don't want to take anything away from that. So much fun to watch. You know, them really embracing, okay, so they've only had a few days with, you know, Viego's now enabled and all this type of stuff. And they don't hesitate. Incorporate that, immediately draft it in game #1, test it out on the field, and it comes down to a lot of these scramble plays.
Yep, the fights were close. The fights were a lot of fun. And hey, good job to the new look Golden Guardians duo for coming away with an absurdly big comeback win. Now, we are headed for a break, but as we go, we'd like to introduce you to a special guest.
Yo, what's up, LCS squad? I'm Savage Gaspin. I know we're all hyped for the LCS Summer Kickoff, but first, this is a performance of my song, Rose Petal Princess. Also, Teemo is the best champion, hands down. What's good? At me. Say something about it. Hey. Look, I said like cute face, pretty girl. I've been thinking about you, baby. You my flower girl, so I'm bringing you flowers, baby. And I could really give you the world if you want, if you bout it, baby. I just wanna be with you, baby. You better off without me, baby. So, flower boy, can I be your flower boy? I text you and tell you I love you, say I doubt it, boy. And if you were the last two left on earth, maybe then I'll be bout it, boy. I said, let me tell you, girl. So tell me, boy, cause I've been thinking about you all the time. Running through my head, I can't get you off my mind. Listen, baby, I just wanna get with you, baby. Ever since I first met you, baby, I just couldn't forget you, baby. Look, she got a rose petal pink hair, ooh, she going crazy. I just gotta ask, will you be my little baby? The stars on her face, little waist, it don't faze me. Okay, girl, I'm lying, please date me. She got a comb on the sweater, said it's whatever. And like a necktie, girl, I want you forever. And I know it's been hard, but I swear it gets better. You could go be anything, but I just wanna be together. I don't know where I should go, she hopes I don't overdose. Don't believe in horoscopes, but I swear I hate Scorpios. Perfect person, wrong timing, closet filled with mirror. Call me, babe, I barely think about you, but I know you dream about me. Dear Lord, save me, I fell in love with Satan. Dear Lord, save me, she's so lovely. 6-inch high heels, 6 feet downhill. Dear Lord, save us, I wasted 6 years. Look, she still got that rose petal pink hair, ooh, she going crazy. I just gotta ask, will you be my little baby? The stars on her face, little waist, it don't faze me. Okay, girl, I'm lying, please date me. You're so lovely. Hey. Yup. Love you.
immediately after the GG victory against C9, we've got Stixxay and his newest companion in the bot lane, Chime. First things first, Chime, it's your first time here in the post-game interview on the LCS after a year on the Academy roster. Tell me a bit more about your transition onto this roster.
I mean, I think I played a lot with the Academy team this year, and like we bonded a lot, and so it was definitely new getting into this team, and like I had a pretty big role compared to last time. So yeah, I mean, I think it was like obviously going to be a lot more responsibility, but I think we're getting there.
At that heat of coming straight into summer, that responsibility or kind of feeling. And I know that Stixxay, you felt a lot of responsibility on this roster throughout the year, being put in a leadership position. Now you have 2 new additions to this roster as well. How has that affected the way that you approach your leadership role?
I mean, I think the biggest difference for me is having Colin on our roster. He's really experienced. He knows, what to do at most times in the game. So that's really helpful. I think similar to me, we have kind of like a set plan of what we feel like should happen during the game. So it's really nice. Me and him are kind of on the same page with that. And yeah, Chime here, he's really vocal too. So I almost have to like talk a lot less with this team, which is nice for me. I get to focus more on my gameplay. But yeah, it's been really nice so far.
And I do want to talk a bit more about the gameplay that we just witnessed, because I think it's fair to say that it was considered an upset for GG to get the victory over Cloud9 today. Chime, since you are apparently one of the vocal ones in the actual game, tell me a bit about what you considered the game plan to be able to take down C9 today.
I mean, I think we were planning to play through bot because like Sentinel Leon is really volatile, and once like one starts snowballing and has no flash, it's pretty easy to punish. So yeah, I mean, I think once we traded Sums and Udyr saw an angle bot side, like we just said keep pressuring them. And yeah, I think that was the game plan for a while, and then Dragon happened, and then yeah, other stuff happened, I guess.
You got the Dragon, another one, eventually the Soul, and the game was really kind of on a teeter's edge there for a bit. Very fun from the fan perspective. Yeah. We have gotten to see some of the new picks come through. Viego, for instance, right? Everyone's wondering how that's going to rattle out in the LCS. How was it facing off against the power that Viego was able to bring in the later portions of the game?
There was a time in the game where he killed my Leona, he took the Leona and then went on me and stunned me, and then Kai'Sa ultied, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's a thing. So yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I think all the new champions that have came out, Gwen, Viego, are like, they're pretty crazy to play against too. It's like, sometimes they just do things you don't expect, right? Because you haven't played with them that much. So, but yeah, it definitely makes it fun to watch, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, very fun to watch. And I do also like that you brought up the addition of Solo and how he brings his experience in. Chime coming onto this roster alongside Solo, but with very different backgrounds. How has that kind of helped you guys come into kind of this new system with the LCS, having somebody right by your side joining into the fight?
I think it's definitely nice. I mean, Colin is really like uplifting about like the team. Like, I don't know, he keeps things light. So it's like a lot less nerves, I think, especially for me. So, I mean, yeah, I think on that front, it's really helpful.
Yeah, having him, and then I do want to pay some attention to your other teammates as well. Iconic making those early plays down in the bot lane, but sure. Ablaze Olive had some really great moments to keep you in the team fights as well. We know that he has been developing as a player throughout the year. What can you give us as far as insight in his development from this offseason coming into summer?
Yeah, I mean, Blaze Olive, I would say he's just overall probably the most consistent player on our team. He typically does his job pretty well. I think this game did exceptionally well. I mean, I would say he carried us pretty hard. But yeah, I don't know. He's he's an easy person to work with, and he plays well all the time, so it's nice.
Having that good time to build some confidence after this game. I do want to know, after taking down C9 today, you're facing off against Immortals next. Does this help at all in building that confidence as you continue in for the rest of your games this week?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely builds confidence to say that, yeah, we can take down a top team. But, I mean, we have to take it game by game, I think, for sure.
Yeah, game by game. But that being said, before I let you all go, Stixxay, I want to know, we have to look at the bigger picture here. Golden Guardians obviously looking to improve day by day. But for you personally, or maybe even for the team itself, what do you see as success, even in these initial weeks of summer, and what you look to gain from the experience?
I mean, personally, I think what I see as success is I want us to, make playoffs, make a dent there if possible. But mainly, I just want our new guys to get more experience on stage. Even for me, like I've been playing for 5 years, and I still think it's great to continue getting experience on the stage. So, yeah, just want to come in, play confident, and just kind of feel like we're making progress every week. I think that's improvement or success for me.
And after a year away from the stage, it is great to be back on the stage here.
It's so amazing to be back here.
Oh yeah, feels so good. We are going to be stepping away, but I do want to thank the both of you, Stixay and Shime, for joining me here for this post-game interview. And for everyone at home, don't go anywhere because Flowers and Raz will be breaking down the banger that we have coming up between 100 Thieves and Immortals right after this.